Okay, welcome to my presentation. I'm going to show you how to write a small application that will display an image in an image view within an activity. Just to show you how to display an image in an application, Android application, and how to stretch it to the size of the screen to make it as big as the screen that of your smartphone. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is create a new a new application called Display Picture. I'll delete the old one and create a new one just to show you how it's done. Okay. I'm going to call this application, as I said, Display Picture. Make the application and project name the same, and then just edit the package name. Instead of example, we're going to call it paad.displayPicture. And with the theme here down the bottom, we're going to make that none, and we'll progress to the next form, and then the next one. Choose the application icon, which is going to be our company logo, and then go to the next one, and then call our main activity Display Picture. And then finish. I don't know about in your IDE. Well, this skeleton application will not work. I'm going to have to do a few edits to make it work as a basic skeleton application, and I'll show you how I do this. The first thing I do is to edit the XML file of the main activity Display Picture. Going to take out these 5 lines here, and I'm going to take out the text view which displays hello world in the default application, and I'm going to change the layout type from relative layout to linear layout. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do with this linear layout that's going to display the image or the picture is to, within this linear layout, I'm going to make another linear layout. Gotta wait for a bit. While the context menu loads. Okay, now we're going to make another linear layout. Take the end marker out. Okay, I'm going to give this linear layout an ID. It's going to be called picture layout, and we're going to make the layout width match parent, and the layout height match parent as well, so it's going to fit on. It's going to use up the whole of the screen. And the last thing to finish this off is to make the orientation of both linear layouts vertical. So you do it with both of them. Okay, that finishes this XML layout file. I'm just going to save it. And move on to the next part, which is to make the skeleton application work, which is the next part is to go into the source, take out these functions here on create options menu, and we're not going to have an options menu, and on options item selected we're not going to be selecting any options from an options menu, so just take that out. And then we're going to take out this import, which is not needed. And we're going to change this from an action bar activity to just a plain activity. Okay. Next we're going to change the menu. Comment out the item. We're not going to have any menu items, as we say. We're not going to have an options menu, so we're not going to have any menu items. Save that. And then we're going to change the styles. Comment out all the styles. We're not going to have any styles in this application. Moving on to some more styles. And finally the final style file. Commenting out these styles. Okay, save all that, and then we will change the manifest of this application to take out the theme. Save that. Now we'll clean the application. And we'll put in a line for resources. That still doesn't work. There's obviously a problem with the layout, XML layout that I made. Ah, there we go. Save that. Compile that again. Clean it. Okay. Have a look at the project properties. What I was looking at before was the Java build path, and there's nothing there. I'll just take that out. Now that application should skeleton application should work. I'm just going to run it on the phone, show you the application in action before I move on and complete the application. Okay, there we have display picture. It's not displaying the image at the moment. That's just the skeleton application there running before we fill in the rest of the application to display the image. Right, the first thing I'm going to do on my way to complete this application is to create in the res folder. I'm going to create a new folder called Drawable. And in the Drawable folder, I'm going to import a image using from the file system. Get it from the file system. It's going to be the company logo. I'm just going to show you how to display the company logo in the application in an image view. So we go down to where the image is. It's in here, and you just go OK, and then you want one. The funny thing about these image resources is that they've got to be in lowercase. You've got to name them in lowercase with no uppercase letters. I'm not sure whether you're allowed numbers, but I know that the letters have got to be lowercase. You can select the logo and say finish, and then it imports that into the application. So you've now got an image logo there in Drawable below the res folder. Oh, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the main activity, and I'm going to add some lines there. The first thing I'm going to do is add a new member function, private member function called which returns an image view, and it's called display bitmap in image view. And it takes the context of the activity as a parameter. To make this function so it looks if it works, I'm going to create an image view iv equals new image view context. Okay, you've got to these user interface objects, you've got to supply the context. Okay, then I'm going to resolve this context reference to library reference, and also with image view as well. And then now that I've given iv an image view, I'm going to return that image view to the caller. And that activity should now it gives you a yellow line to say that it underlines this function with the yellow line to say that it hasn't been used yet in the program. It's just a function there you've just created that hasn't been used. Now I'm going to create a bitmap VM, and I'm going to get the resource that we just imported as a bitmap, and you do that using a function from bitmap factory, yes, bitmap factory, and you call the decode resource, as it's a resource, you call decode resource, and you get resources, and the ID is our drawable logo. Now, it won't resolve logo at the moment, so I'm going to have to clean the application to make sure it does. There we go, there's logo resolved there. And then we're going to resolve bitmap object, call in the import for bitmap. And then we're going to set the bitmap of the image view we're returning to BM. Now I'm going to get the width and height of the display using a display object. Get the display first. Get the default display. Then I'm going to resolve the display object, import the import for that, and I'm going to say int width equals display get width, and then I'm going to scale the height accordingly with respect to the width. So I'm going to multiply the width by the ratio of the bitmap height over the bitmap width. That will scale the height accordingly with respect to the width to make sure that the width matches the width of the display and the height is maintains aspect ratio with respect to the width of the display. And then we're going to change the layout params of the image view. And change it to the size of the width and the height that we just calculated. We're going to bring in the import for layout, relative layout for this for the layout params, and then we're going to set the layout params of the image view to params, and then that sets the parameters for the width and the height, and then return the image view back to the onCreate function, where we're going to first we're going to get a handle on the linear layout in the layout XML file that we created for this activity. Resolve linear layouts to import the right import, and then grab hold of a handle of the layout for this activity, the linear layout that we've named as picture layout. Picture layout. And then we get the image view with the image in it from our function we just created, display bitmap and image view. Get the base context of this activity using a member function of activity, and now we're going to add to the linear layout of the layout XML file, add the view IV, the image view to it, and that completes our application. Now if we save everything we've typed now and clean the application, we should be able to run the application on the phone now, and I'll show you it running. So if I just minimize that away like that, bring up the, I'll show it in action. If I just bring up that, okay, and then if I run this application, display picture, you should see it on the emulator. Not an emulator. It's showing. This is showing the screen of my Android phone that I've got connected to my laptop, using a little utility that's freely downloadable from the internet called Droid at Screen. So you can get that yourself if you want to, and use it yourself to make presentations of your own, if you want to. And there we have it. It displays the logo in a full size inside my new application called Display Picture that you've just seen me create. Okay, thank you for watching my presentation. Look forward to speaking to you next time.